In 1995, the first CCAMS school was opened, with a few students in a little hut on stilts. Yet for Joya Michelotti, one of the founders, the story started in her home country of America.
So I was almost 40 years old when God led me to work with the Cambodian refugees that came over escaping the Pol Pot regime in Cambodia. I heard that they loved the traditional Cambodian arts, and I also heard that the Pol Pot regime almost destroyed their arts, and their artists were all killed, almost all of them. And so I began to do research, and there were a few of the artists who had escaped, and I talked to them and learned about the arts and began to experiment doing dramas, dances, songs, and things like that using the traditional Cambodian arts.
Joya's long-term friend and partner, Narain Van Kim, was born in Cambodia and went through terrible hardships during the Pol Pot era. After losing one child during the city evacuations, her family found themselves facing starvation in the jungle.
And what happened to your husband and your other two children?
1975, 1976. We still together, and then in the middle of 1976, the Pol Pot took my husband away to fix their car, to work with the machine. So I allowed him to go because I feel like we're gonna die in that jungle. So he's so big and he needs a lot of food. So just allow him to go to live with Pol Pot. So, and then after he left, my son became sick. So not yet at that time, he came back, about 6 months he came back. And we sick, but we still alive. And then after he left the second time, then my son died because of the diarrhea and all, no food to eat and no medicine, nothing. So then my son and my daughter died, and 1 week after another.
Narain survived by eventually fleeing to Thailand and then America. She has never seen her husband again. A chance meeting at a conference for Cambodians brought Joya and Narain together. Through the years they became friends and began to share visions of how they could help Cambodia and its people. Out of their dreaming, CCAMS was formed, rescuing children at risk, bringing them out of trouble into a safe home where there is love, healing, education, training in the arts, and medical help. Buntip Chun, whose father was shot when she was 3, ended up homeless after her mother had to sell their home to feed the family. Buntip recalls her first memories of arriving at CCAM.
So excited to see everything because of when she first came and smelled terrible, living with someone have no soap, who just take a bath with water and smell terrible, and all of these students helping washing all their clothes, give her bath, and it's just everything so excited to her, and having food to eat, plenty of food. A lack of food when she was out there because her mom dumped her to live with someone that did not take good care of her. So she's so excited and to be at CCAM in that moment at the time.
One of the earliest children helped by CCAM was Rex May, whose family live in the Mekong basin, where their home becomes an island on stilts for 3 months of the year during monsoon season. They were so poor that her parents had to discuss the possibility of selling their children. A common story amongst those who have lost hope and believe that this may be the only way for the family to survive.
I grew up in Prasad, and when I was grow up, my family is poor and like didn't have food much to eat and have a lot of children, so difficult like to stay in Prasad. But like when I go to school 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock I come back to eat, and after that I go to take care of the cows until 5 o'clock I come back home and to do.
So you were working on the fields at a very early age?
Yeah, very
At what
early.
sort of age do you think? Do you remember?
Around 11.
About 11?
Yeah, 11.
And you told me that the other day that you were watching the children playing with their toys, and you said that when you were younger you didn't have toys like that.
Yes, when I was younger I didn't have toy to play like the children now. I just pick up the leaf to make the money and go deep under the river to pick up the clay to make my cousin to make the cows for me to play and to make the pen to play like that. Didn't have everything like now. That's why sometimes I enjoy with the kids in CCM. They have so many to play, so blessed.
Every child in this community has a story like Bunteep and Rex May's. Out of the ashes of despair, CCAMS has brought hope and a sense of family amongst those who now share life together.
We don't operate as an organization. We operate as an organism, a family. And so this is a very important principle. We all live together as a family. And it's kind of based on the Eastern model. Everyone in the family gets into helping one another, and the older children help to raise the younger children. And we see the way that CCAM operates like a family in every aspect.
And you've applied that even just to your lessons,
Yes.
whereby you have teachers that come in, but then you eventually pass on that role to your older students.
Yes, it's like there are 3 levels of this process. The first level, we are like parents to children or teachers to disciples. And then it passes, when they become older and they know more, it goes into kind of an apprenticeship program. And then we become like co-workers, and we do things side by side, and they're actually doing the work, but we're there as partners with them. And then it goes to the 3rd level, where they become the leaders, and they become the principal workers, and we become like the facilitators and the advisors.
Sadly, signs of Pol Pot's destructive regime still remain. Corruption is rife in all walks of life. For the last few years, this family has been moved from place to place at the whim of landlords and rising rents within Phnom Penh. Their dream is to own their own home.
Through all this 15 years, we've had special donations given that we have put toward purchasing a plot of land. And every time we get another donation, we'll buy another plot next to that, and until it's built up. Now we have the whole piece that is a 3-acre plot with roads all around it. And when we went to Europe, we got donations enough to build a wall around this property. So now we're just waiting for the big money to come because we need to build the buildings there. Once we get this center built, this will belong to us. We won't have to suffer with the landlords raising rents that are too high or kicking us out.
100% of the funds from this CD and DVD will go towards the dream of creating a home, school and arts centre for CCAM. Your purchase keeps this dream alive.